Tonetta 777. There you go.
My bro. Hello, my needle drops. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. You know who I am by now, I think. And it's album review time. This LP, to my knowledge, has not been requested by anybody. So I imagine this is because some of y'all need some internet schooling on who Tonetta is. If you search the name Tonetta on YouTube, you will get tons upon tons of videos featuring Speedos, cloth backgrounds, and lyrics about every type of sex you can imagine. Chances are your eyes will be glued to the screen, whether it is in admiration or horror. And even though Tonetta's following would not be what it is without his videos, which are kind of dispersed around YouTube ever since his account got banned a while back. He's got this new album compilation out, 777 Volume 1, via the label Black Tent Press, who I imagine is committed to releasing more of this guy's stuff. They already have a date and a cover slated for Volume 2, and Volume 3 definitely seems like a possibility. Who knows how much stuff Tonetta has locked away in his musical vault, waiting to be scratched out on some innocent piece of vinyl. He's a Canadian singer-songwriter, and this compilation is built of songs he's recorded from the 80s up until 2009, I believe, and they don't seem to be in any apparent order, just one odd bedroom jam after another. I have to get a comparison out of the way. For me, Tonetta is like G.G. Allin, R. Stevie Moore, and Iggy Pop rolled up into one. I would also liken it to the Mountain Goat's early stuff in that Tonetta is very DIY, seems to be very prolific, and doesn't really hold issue with recycling melodies, recycling lyrical ideas, recycling song concepts over and over and over for the sake of just putting out more stuff. So don't be surprised if over the course of this album you catch a few hints of deja vu. And also, while we're naming artists, he does like to reference the Beatles quite a bit in his songs, which happens just a couple times on here. In terms of recording, I love the lo-fi, gritty sound of these tracks. Just these dirty, nasty drums, twangy guitars, bass that is usually very overdriven and thick, and the vocals are, for me, for the most part, to die for. Just really smoky, very whispery, dark. It's like Tonetta's mouth is right up against the microphone, and it sounds like he is just breathing down my neck. Kinda creepy, I gotta admit. But the only thing grittier than the recording here is the lyrical content, and I don't think I need to dig much farther past some of the song titles to kind of illustrate my point, like Really Big I'm Gonna Marry a Prostitute, Peeping Tom, Drugs, Drugs, Drugs. But I'm really kind of polarized on this album. I really love some tracks. Really Big is one of them, surprisingly. So catchy. But there are others I really don't care for. For me, the lo-fi, abrasive sound kind of destroys some of the tracks here, like John and Yoko or My $10 Axe. And because a lot of these songs tread very similar water, you kind of have to be into the lyrics a lot in order to enjoy them. So some tracks for me have ended up being a little more boring than others. It's very tempting to kind of treat him and his music like a freak in a cage that you just can't stop staring at. But if you can get past that, I don't see why anybody couldn't buffet pick some interesting tracks out of this thing. For sure. I think my major issue is that I don't dig this LP so much because some of my favorite tracks are just not on here, like Lady Gaga, Music is Bullshit, My Report Card, Boys. But I think most Tonetta fans are going to feel that way. If you have dug through most of this guy's YouTube videos, chances are to hear your all-time favorite Tonetta songs, you're still going to be logging on to YouTube to do that. If there's any reason to pick this thing up if you're a fan, it's to just support the guy. So at this point, after some prolonged exposure to this and Tonetta's YouTube videos, I'm kind of feeling a decent 6 on this thing. I'm liking it, but it's not blowing my mind by a long shot. However, if I could take my all-time favorite Tonetta songs and put them on an album, swap out the tracks on here I didn't like and just kind of make my favorite Tonetta mix, I would score it way, 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 way higher. So if you guys have heard this thing or have found Tonetta by now in YouTube's search engine, let me know what you think. Are you in love? Are you in hate? Are you deeply disturbed? And what should I review next? Anthony Fantano, Tonetta, forever.